So without wasting much time, let's start with the webinar today. So this is Diksha here, and today my friend Naman is also here. So we are the host of today, and today we're gonna let you take through all the parts of the webinar. So hi Naman, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you, Diksha?
I'm doing well. So what do you think? So how it's gonna be today's webinar?
I think it's going to be very informational for a lot of people because I know most of them, and the background they come, they always ask me that Naman, coding is really, really, horrible. So should we get into coding or not? So I think, Diksha, this session is going to answer, a question to a lot of people. So guys, what do you think? Do you think that coding is scary? What do you think, guys? And what do you think, Diksha? Do you think coding is scary? The programming, coding, scripting, is it scary?
Well, according to me, Naman, I think so that it actually varies from person to person. Like for some people, it's very complicated, and for some, it's very easy to go with. Even the one who have some experience in IT, even they sometimes find it complicated. So may I know everyone in the chat box that how you feel about it? Do you feel it complicated or it's easy for you?
I think Sylvester is someone who answered this very first time. I think he's the guy who really, uh, feels that it's very scary. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people are saying complicated, Diksha. So I think with this session, we will be able to, break this myth. What do you think?
Well, I totally believe in you. And although in today's
Okay.
webinar, let's gonna see that how coding gonna help you, and we'll let you know the introduction regarding the coding and how it can help the beginners. So
Exactly.
let's start with the webinar now without wasting much time. So everyone, once again, I would like to tell you that you can use the chat box. You can feel free to use the chat box so that you can ask questions or you can respond on it. So we'll move towards the agenda for today. So at first, we're gonna invite our guest, Rafsun, who will be telling his journey towards IT, how he achieved it, and what things was complicated for him. And then we're gonna let you know about who we are, what is Thinkcloudly all about. We're gonna give you a brief introduction about it, and then we'll be moving towards the webinar offer, and then we'll have the introduction for coding and programming. After that, we'll be having one quiz, and after that, we'll come towards a Q&A session and the conclusion and feedback. Okay, so let's welcome our guest, Rafsoon, who has achieved his path towards IT. And we're gonna ask him about what are the things that he faced, what are the challenges that came across in his life. So let's ask this thing from Rafsoon. So hey Rafsoon, are you there?
Good morning to everyone. Here, my name is Rafsan. Today, I'm here as a guest to explain my journey, how I started with Think Loudly, and I also have a background in IT before I joined to Think Loudly. I was studying in IT for 4 years. I did my bachelor degree, but the job that I was doing, it wasn't in advanced position. It was like desktop support positions. So I basically have a few certification that I took to get those job as a desktop support job. And after that, I find out things loudly by searching on Google, doing some research, and I feel interested to get into cloud. So I did three courses from Think Loudly. The first one was AWS Solution Architect. After finish that, I joined another program, AWS Security, and then the last one I did was DevOps. So basically, when I was looking for new job positions in cloud, I saw that most of the companies they're looking for everything in cloud. You need to know DevOps, you need to know security things, you need to know programming those things. So I was like lost. So that's why I thought that maybe only solution architect program is not enough to get a job. to gain more experience. I have to take other courses to see how I fit, and then I took few more certification with the help of Thinkcloudly, and then I get few interviews. So for last 8 months, I was doing interviews. Not like most of the interviews are like on call. Uh, one of the interview that I remember, I went for the final round, but the interview was cancelled. The final interview was cancelled. So I was keep trying, giving a lot of interviews. The only thing that helped me to get interviews, that in interviews they ask a lot of questions about cloud, and it helps me to get answers, to know more about cloud. Like few things I didn't learn in the course, but by doing research, what gonna ask me the employer, what kind of question they can ask me, I have to do some research. I use ChatGTP for that, and it helped a lot. And then I get the job uh 2 weeks ago, and my hiring manager, they are moving to cloud everything, and my hiring manager have no certificate in cloud. Then I showed her that I have two certification in AWS, so that impressed her a lot, that okay, someone who has certifications must be skillful. And then I share some experience that I did few projects within Cloudly, and what I did. Like I do have knowledge and experience working in DevOps. So I share those everything with the vice president of IT. And after I explain all the things that I know about cloud, everything, and my relevant certifications, everything, they were very impressed, and they give me the offer for the job. And my joining will be next week so far.
Superb, superb. Thank you, Rafsan. I mean, uh, you actually, did this like you went for multiple skills. I mean, that was really important. So, Rafsan, did you ever feel that, right after completing your cloud, did you ever feel that, I should get a job only with cloud, not by upgrading the skills? So, what were your
Uh,
mind, or you when you were applying the jobs, you were seeing the requirements of DevOps and security as well? So how was the
yes.
experience with it?
So basically, when you most of the companies, they are using multiple cloud services like Microsoft Azure, AWS. So if you only focus on AWS, then you'll see that most of the companies, they hire for cloud engineer who have also experience in Terraform. Terraform is also related to cloud, and also they need Jenkins, they need Docker, those things. So if you don't have those experience, then you can't share what you know about those things in the job interview. So basically, when you took few trainings on those things, then you can explain to them what you know in cloud. So like for example, when you know only about solution architect, you can talk like 10 minutes about it. But when you add more knowledge in other cloud side like Terraform or AWS security, then you can explain them more deeply, that you actually have more knowledge in those other things, not only in solution architect, also you have knowledge in DevOps, also in security stuff. So it will give you more chance to explain them, to know you, how much valuable you are for this company.
Okay. So Rafsan, the job which you have landed, is it a remote job or you have to go to office? Is it a hybrid role?
It,
And
it's a
okay, sorry, go ahead.
it's a hybrid job. So for first 1 month, I have to go on site. It's not that far from my home. It's 22 miles. I have to drive there. So for 1 month, they're gonna have me training, and after that, it will be hybrid. 3 days in the office, 2 days from home.
Okay, okay. And so did they share any job responsibilities right now, or are you waiting for them to share with you when you join very first day, or have they already
Uh,
shared some roles and responsibilities?
So basically, they are now migrating their infrastructure into AWS. So they are doing various projects. So they are using AWS Workspace. It's a new thing that I don't know about it. So they're using it for all of the users, and then they are migrating their database, their server on AWS. So they are keeping their two server as a backup, and everything they are gonna move to AWS. So basically, maybe I'll be the part of this project when I was working with them, when I'll be working with them. So right now, they didn't give me any specific things that what I have to do. But I'm assuming that since they are doing all of these projects, maybe I have to involve one of these projects.
Okay, it means that essentially they are migrating to cloud and you will be involved in day-to-day activities of cloud migration. All right.
Yes,
Maybe,
yes,
maybe when you are getting into that stage, the project we have on data migration might be very helpful at that point of time, right?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Exactly. And what about the projects? I mean, there were like 6 different projects you might have gone through. So, did you use those projects to share your experience with the experts or with the interviewer?
So, I mean, yeah, so when you have those, when you go through on those projects, it made easy for you to explain, it help you a lot to talk with them, like what you know about those things. Like, for example, do you know any experience in data migration? Then you can explain to them, yes, I know how to do data migration. If you go to a data migration service from Amazon service, then you can see there's a few SQLs like MariaDB, MongoDB, MySQL, those things. Choose one of them. So you can explain step by step, and it will help you a lot to make them understand that you actually did those projects. You have to experience working on those projects.
So I think, Rafsun, even you will recommend our audience who are attending cloud and DevOps classes with us that they should join the workshops we are conducting every week so that they can gain that experience. So do you recommend that
Yes, yes.
to all of them?
So if you do those workshops every day, every week, that means that you're getting more experience, more knowledge that you can explain on the interview, because you have to make sure that you are the best for above all the candidates. So by doing those all workshops, if you increase your chance that you can explain to them more and more, and you can talk them with more. And I mean, they don't know you, they only know what do you know. So when you can explain them that you know all of these things, they will see that you are the potential candidate that they need to hire you. And then it also help in the real job, because if you only do the readings, it will not help you. You need something on hands-on experience. So basically, when you get a job, it also help you a lot, because you know how to do at least things. And you can also get back those recordings video to watch again if you don't understand anything. So it helps a lot in both ways.
You know what, Rafsun, what has happened that a lot of people are actually trying just like you did. And they get very upset when, one or two interviews that does not go well. So what do you think? I mean, how many interviews you went through? And have you ever felt that, it's not happening, so I should leave it? So what was your take? Like, were you really upset when it was not going through? Because as you mentioned that for you it took 8 months, and for people sometimes it takes 3 months, sometimes it takes 1 year, but still after 8 months you have a job now. So have you ever felt bad or maybe stressed about not getting the job?
So basically, depending on the job market right now, is little bit low. So you have to understand how the job market is working right now, because of the inflation and everything. It's reduced all the chances. Like I said, I went to the final round. I There was an interview with the cloud security engineer. So basically, there was a 1 year project, and this project you have to migrate 20 applications in Ultra security. So I didn't know how to do that, but I did some research. I watched a video on Udemy how to migrate Ultra security into 20 applications, and I went to the final round of the interview. But the interview wasn't uh, scheduled. So there was the chance that I was waiting for it, but it didn't happen. And then few calls that I get, it was an interview. Then I get second round interview, but I never get back any response for the final round interview because of inflation. I think so, but I was continuing giving interview because giving interview also make you so perfect that you can get a very good job in the end. Like fast or second interview, I mean, if you're very knowledgeable, very experienced, then you might have get one first or second interview. But if you think that this is a first interview that you are giving in cloud, then you should expect that to fix your error that you did made on the first interview or second interview. So you need to improve yourself, but you can give up because some people take 1 month, some people take 2 months. That's true. Even some people take 2 weeks to get a job. It depends on how much you make yourself organized to to sell yourself to the employer. So you have to make practice or to give interviews. So you don't expect that you get a job so fast, but I will say don't give up. Just continue giving the interview. Maybe I have a friend, he gave an interview and that was his very interview, but he get the job offer. That's because he showed them that how technical things he can solve. His thinking is so complex. He showed them everything that what he can do. Because of that, they hired him for the job. So even his interview went bad, but he get the job offer. So you never know. Like you can't give up. So I will say, apply for the job, schedule for the interview, give the interview, learn from them what kind of question they ask. Then if they, by this way, there's a lot of services in AWS. You will not be memorize all of those things. But when you give the interviews, when they ask you what is the gateway, what is the transit gateway, what is PPC, then you can know what those things are. So there are a lot of services in AWS, and different companies are using different services. So when you give more interviews, it also help you to know about those services. So that's why I will say, if you are not in rush, then give an interview, and you'll see if you are good enough, then you will get a job.
Very nice. I mean, that is detailed explanation, which was really expected, Rafsan. I think this is the very first time in this forum that someone has explained the real scenario. So I think people out over here who are listening to you, they are really inspired and they understand the whole process now, because many of them are in IT, many of them are not in IT. But people who are not in IT, they don't understand the real scenario, because they are right now in the process of learning. So I know a lot of people over here who have joined us today. They are in the process of learning. They are attending AWS, they are attending DevOps, they are attending cybersecurity. So they are attending multiple courses just to, equip themselves before the interview. So just one more question I would like to ask, Rafsan, that like how was the interview process? Was it 2 rounds interview? Was it 3 rounds interview? How many rounds of technical interviews were there? On an average, like let's say if you pick like five organizations, so how many rounds of interviews were there? And
So
yeah, and how many total technical interviews were there?
the total technical interview was 3 rounds, and first round was with the HR. They said, "Do you know these things? Do you know we are looking for someone who have experience of these things." So after getting past the first round, the second round was with the hiring manager. So the interview was for 30 minutes. So I took the 30 minutes to talk about myself. So I told them that my day of my job start with a stand up meeting. I have to get in the office 8 a.m. in the morning and 8:30 a.m. in the morning. We have a team meetings. In the team meetings, we talk about every day what we're going to do, the day-to-day things, and what happened yesterday, what are the issues. I mean, I explain like a story, and then we have a trading system. On the trading system, we get a lot of tickets. On those tickets, we see what are issues are having. If there's any server error code, we look to the error code and start doing fixing those things. So I start with a story, what I do every day, and I end up finishing by saying that I mean, how many things we do, how many tools we're using. So I took like 30 minutes to explain myself or who I am. And after 30 minutes, the hiring manager said that I don't have any question to ask you because you answer all of the questions that I need to ask you. So it's so good they talk to you. The next will be with the vice president of the IT department. He will gonna be talk with you about more details. So then I was scheduled to talk with him, and he's a very tech guy, and he loved technologies. So when I was doing interview with him, I showed him that I have different knowledge in different technologies. I taught him different things, and he was so impressed with that. And it took like more than 30 minutes of the interview after talking with him. Then they invite me to have a talk face to face on site. It was a face-to-face interview on site. So it took like 1 hour 30 minutes. So in 1 hour 30 minutes, I talked with both manager and both and the vice president. And after talking with them 1 hour 30 minutes, they asked me about my goals, where I want to be in, and everything that I explained to them. They really love it, and Then after that day, they offer me the job. So that's the round that I did, but it was very long interviews, like 30 minutes, and one of them was 1 hour, 30 minutes.
So
So
Rafsan, like now to all our audience, what do you recommend? What are the important skills they should focus on? And there are a few students who have enrolled in cybersecurity. So what do you think that these even the security space is good? So how many questions were asked on security, and what is your recommendation to our students that which are the important skills they should work on, and which programs would you recommend to them?
for the programming, I don't know it. I don't know it
I
because
mean, not
yes,
programming, but the courses. Like
for the courses.
what courses would you recommend to them if they are beginners, just like you
So for
were?
the beginners, go for Security Plus and AWS Security, because most of the companies, they are not hiring another employee for security, another employee for cybersecurity. So if it's small IT team, they want someone who know both sides. So if you're looking for in cybersecurity, you also have to get knowledge in cloud security. So if you are doing AWS, then get AWS security certification. You can also get Security Plus. In the mean between these two, I also recommend for Linux, because my company that I'm going to join, they're also using Linux. So I told them that I want to be in cybersecurity. Then they explained to me what it does, and I feel like Linux also using on the side. So if you have Linux experience, knowledge, and cloud security, and also you have no on site like on premises security, it's a very good mixture, and it will make your profile more good to show them that you have knowledge in both sides.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Rafsan. Thank you so much for coming here today and sharing all the information. So, guys, audience, do you did you enjoy the knowledge and the experience shared by Rafsan? So, what do you think? Is it going to really help you, all of you guys? Everyone, can you please let us know in the chat that is it really helpful, the Rafsan story? Over to you, Diksha. Thank you so much, Rafsan. I mean, this was really inspiring, and I think
One
okay.
last thing that I want to mention, that what you know about the cloud, to prove that certification is very important. So if you can show them that you have more certifications in whatever you are choosing or your career, then it can also help them to understand that what you are saying is not only saying, you also have a proof to show them you have certification. Like for my hiring manager, she doesn't have any certification in AWS, but she's working. And when I told her that I have certification in it, I have two certification in AWS, she was very impressed. So certification is also a kind of proof that you have knowledge and skills on this field. So getting certification can also help you, or also increase the chance to get a job.
Okay, thank you, Rafsan. Thank you so much for sharing all this information. So over to you, Diksha. Are you here with us?
Yeah, so first of all, congratulations, Rafsun, and thank you so much for your precious time. And it was really inspiring, and also it was really appreciable for boosting up to our audience too. And even I can see the chat box, it seems to be very knowledgeable for our audience as well. So now let's move forward towards the introduction for Think Loudly, that what Think Loudly is actually about. So I must tell you all that Thinkcloudly is a global e-learning platform that has provided jobs to numerous people, and also we help in job assistance and providing multiple courses. Actually, we do offer more than 25 plus courses to our students to upgrade their skills in IT. And also, we help in providing free career counseling. And so if anyone is interested for any of the course, so do let us know so that we can help you with the career counseling as well.
Okay, so guys, before I actually jump on to the actual session, Diksha, I would like to show everyone of the student our YouTube channel so that they can subscribe to it and they can also get some good videos to watch, in their free time. Is that okay if I can just, take them to YouTube channel and show it?
Yes, definitely. Go ahead.
Okay. So guys, over here, just on YouTube channel, we basically, one moment. So we have our own channel at Thinkcloudly. Please subscribe to it if you have not. We are actually trying our best and trying to come up with with the content which is really going to help you. If it is about ECS, I don't know how many of you know about ECS, but you can watch these videos on ECS to gain more knowledge. Then we have a lot of information on Chat GPT, maybe the project management and Linux. This is completely free of cost, which you can access just by subscribing to our channel. So if in case anyone is interested, do subscribe to the channel, and also let us know what video you want us to make next time, and we'll be helping you to do that. Rafsun has already made his suggestion that he wants a video on Google Workspace, and we'll certainly work on it. So if you have any suggestion, do let us know, and we'll definitely come back with that request on our YouTube channel. So do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay. So without wasting any more time, Diksha, I would like to proceed further with the coding 101, because it's quite important that we understand coding. So okay, so guys, what do you think? Or can you just raise your hands if you don't like coding? I know that you guys cannot raise hand and I cannot see you guys, but do you, I mean, as I asked you that if it is scary or not, but how many of you think that you don't like coding, and can you raise hands? Okay. So let me ask you another question, that what is coding? I mean, why do we need coding? So what do you think, guys? Why do we need coding? Can anyone tell me, please? Like, what's the purpose of coding? I mean, why software developers are actually required to know coding? Can anyone tell me, please? Okay, some people are saying to solve a problem. Okay, what else, guys? Some people are saying for Terraform. Okay, very good. Anything else, guys? Okay, so let me tell you that why do we need coding? Okay, so basically coding, let's imagine that this is the machine. Okay, this is your computer. Now, computer, actually you can do multiple tasks on computer, and I think everyone will agree that computer is multitasking, right? That you can play games while you are listening to the music, right? And you can calculate something on computer. You can do a lot of things on computer, right? Even on the website, you can watch YouTube channel. You can do a lot of things on computer. So what's happening? You are actually performing a task, isn't it, everyone? So what are you actually doing? Essentially, you are asking your computer to perform a task. So let's say that if I want to open a browser, so I will send a command, okay, or I will send an input that open a browser, and your computer does that. It immediately pops up the browser in front of you, right? So basically, when you want to convert your intention, okay, you your intention into a computer task, then you need coding. So what are you trying to do? You're trying to write something, okay, which is understandable by the computer. Now you can imagine any language in the world, and that is what it is doing. Basically, it is converting our intention into a computer computer task, or which can be performed by the computer. So basically, what an engineer, what an software engineer, they do, they basically start writing writing some piece of lines. And what are these are the real intentions. Okay, these are the real intentions which are actually getting converted into computer task. Now I'm going to show you a simple example as well, that if in case you want to perform, you want to perform 2 plus 3 equal to 5. So this output will be given to you by the computer, and how it is happening in the background, I'm going to show you that as well. So can anyone tell me, guys, what do you understand? So what are we trying to convert with the help of coding? We are trying to convert the real intentions into computer tasks. So can anyone tell me in the chat box what's your understanding about coding right now? So what are we trying to do with the help of coding, everyone? Can anyone tell me? So some people are saying solve business problem. Yes. What else? So we are trying to convert our real intention into computer task, which can be performed by the computer. Okay. So always remember this. A lot of people, they don't like coding. That's okay. Coding is not something which you can learn in one day. It takes months, and for some people it takes years. But it is something, if people start enjoying it, then you always like to do it. I have a friend, he never used to like coding, but one day when I met him and I said, try these things, and he started coding, he spent close to 2 years, and today he is the real developer and he's really coding. So it's all about how much time do you spend on it to learn coding. Okay, it's not something which you can understand in a day or 2 day. Okay, it's not like cloud, it's not like project management course. Coding is something which takes time, because there are so many things which you learn over the period of time, and you apply those learnings to solve a problem. Okay, now there is something which I would like to tell everyone. So can anyone tell me what how many types of coding are there? I'm asking about types, not the examples. So can anyone tell me, like, essentially, how many types of coding are there? Okay. So basically, there are two types of coding. One is the scripting language. Okay. And the second one is the programming language. Now, sometimes this sounds very similar. Scripting language, programming language. Okay, both are similar. I agree with all of you that, both are similar. But there is a slight difference which we all have to understand. What is scripting and what is programming? Okay. So scripting is something where you do coding to perform small task. Okay. So when you want the computer to perform a small task, you do scripting. And when you are building a massive applications, or maybe mobile applications, smartphone applications, web applications, when you are building applications and it requires, lot of coding, then that is programming. Okay. So let's understand this again. What is the difference between scripting and what is the difference between scripting and programming? Scripting is a coding which helps to perform small tasks. But when we say programming, right, it's like building a big application, or even a small application. But yes, you are building some good application. It can be your mobile application, smartphone application, computer application, a lot of things. Okay. So guys, does it make sense? Do you understand what is the difference between scripting and programming? Or do you want me to give you an example? I think example will really help for the people who are joining us and they are not able to understand. Do you want an example? Everyone, can we be active in the group? Okay, very nice. So basically, let's imagine if I ask computer that display a date, like what's the date today? Okay, if I ask that display a date, it's a small task. Okay, I'm just giving a small task to a computer and I'm coding it. I'm writing the task and I'm coding it. Okay, if I am building an application where I have a chat option available, I can watch videos, right? This is programming, because you are building an application by writing lot of code, right? to build this application or to build these functionalities. So that is application, that is programming. So you will use programming to build these big application with multiple functionalities. Okay. You can imagine that Netflix is developed by programming. Okay. Facebook application is developed by programming. Okay. But let's imagine that, you just wanted to create few servers in the cloud, right? It was just one small task. So you can do Terraform coding, that's a scripting. So those are the scripts which actually do a small task, and that's quite enough. So okay, so let me ask you one interesting question. So do you guys know Instagram, or what do you think? Instagram application is built by programming or scripting? Can anyone tell me? Instagram application is built by programming or scripting? What do you think? Programming, everyone? What do you think? Or scripting? Exactly, programming. Because Instagram is a big application which has been coded. And okay, let me ask you another interesting question. You know how many lines of code developers of Instagram organization, okay, have wrought to build this Instagram application? Can anyone guess the number of lines of code they have written to build Instagram application? Can anyone tell me, please? How many lines of code? Thousands? Some people are saying thousands. Billions? Okay. Millions? Okay, very good. So basic over 10 million plus lines have been written, by the developers, and they are writing day by day to add more functionalities on Instagram, right? 10 millions lines. Can you imagine 10 millions? They are writing every day to build a massive application that is Instagram. And that's the power of programming. Okay. But the problem with programming is it cannot be learned in 1 month. Okay. It takes its own sweet time. We offer programs on programming. However, we can teach you programming, but to gain that real rhythm of programming, it will take, maybe 6 months or maybe in a year to actually learn programming. It's a big thing. Okay. But when it comes to scripting, okay, when it comes to scripting, when I say that scripting helps to perform a small task, essentially I mean that scripting helps in automation. Okay. So the automation which are happening right now, okay, let's say DevOps, if we talk about DevOps. So DevOps is actually based on scripting. So people who come with no background in IT and they are learning cloud and they are learning, DevOps, they can easily learn DevOps because DevOps actually follows the scripting coding. It does not follow the programming coding, right? A lot of people, they come to me and say, Naman, DevOps requires coding. Do you think it's easy to do? And my answer always is yes. Why? Because scripting is just easy coding. You can learn scripting within 1 month or 2 months and you are good. Okay. After that, you can keep practicing. That's quite okay. Okay. So DevOps actually comes under scripting, and big applications development comes under programming. So can anyone please tell me now if the DevOps comes under scripting or programming? Can anyone tell me, please? Scripting. Okay. So a lot of people are saying scripting. Very good. So how many of you wants to learn programming over scripting? Do you prefer learning programming or scripting? What do you think, guys? Okay, you want to learn scripting? Very good. Okay. Edmund, I'm gonna answer your question in a while. I'm reaching on that question. Once I just move forward, I'll certainly let you know. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me types of, or maybe I would say, examples of coding languages? Can you please tell me example of computer languages? Okay, Busola is saying Python. Very nice. Yes, you're right. Some people Python. Okay, C, Java. What else? C++. Okay, some people are saying Go. What else, everyone? Python. Okay, what else? COBOL. Yes, Pankaj. PHP. Yes. What else? Bash. I think, guys, you already know the answer. I think you already know a lot of things. That's great. Now we have to understand. Okay, let's do a quiz. So, guys, what do you think? Like, we'll just mark COBOL, PHP, Bash, all these with the like for scripting, we are going to use S, and for programming, we are going to use P. So, is Python programming or is it scripting? What do you think, guys? Scripting. Okay, a lot of people are saying scripting. Okay, a lot of people are saying both. Very good. Okay. C language. What do you think? Is it scripting or programming? Programming. Okay. P. Java. Is Java scripting or programming? P. Okay. And C++ is again programming. Go is programming. COBOL is again programming. PHP is again programming, and Bash is scripting. Okay. So I just answered it so that you guys, you should not get confused. So over here, if you see P over here, it means that these computer languages are capable of building applications. Okay. And if you see S, what does it mean? So if I say Bash is scripting, so what is it capable of? Can anyone tell me, please? If I say Bash is a scripting language, so can we develop applications? Can we develop applications with Bash? Everyone? No. We can do only small task. Okay. See, I mean, is it getting interesting or not, everyone? Now, do you think that will you still raise your hand to that you don't like coding? So, is it getting interesting for everyone? Are you enjoying it? That what's Python? Sorry, what's scripting and what's uh, programming? Okay. Now let's understand one thing, that why Python is both. I mean, why are we giving a special treatment to Python? Why can we just, why do you think that, it's getting like it can do both? Some people say it can do both, but how and why? Okay. Basically, guys, what happens that, as I said, scripting can do small tasks. Okay. And programming can do big tasks. Okay. Can we say like this? Can we consider application and as big task? So we can say programming can build applications, okay, and or it can do big tasks, whereas scripting can do only small tasks. Okay. Now, what happened that Python is just a language. Python is just a language, but there are many frameworks which are available and which makes Python capable of doing both. Okay. So there are frameworks like Flask. Okay. There is a Django framework, right? These, I mean, there are many other frameworks which are available, and these frameworks are actually making Python capable of small tasks and even big tasks, or you can say build applications. That's why Python is both scripting language as well as programming language. Okay. Now, does that make sense, everyone? That why Python is programming, is actually programming and scripting both? Does it make sense to everyone? Busola, Caroline, Channel, Clive, everyone. Juris, yeah. Okay, very nice. So we have to understand a few things that, we have to understand few things to learn a language. What is the first step? So when you want to learn either a scripting language, okay, or whether you want to learn a programming language, okay, what is the first step? What is the first step? First step is to identify that which language are you going to learn. Okay, a lot of people, they actually, they get confused whether I should be learning JavaScript, or should I learn Python, or should I go towards Bash scripting or Linux scripting. So what should I do, right? Do you think that identifying the language is quite important before everything? Now, you have to take this decision based on your, you know, based on the program you are attending, or you are trying to build skills. If you are attending the program like DevOps, then for you, learning Terraform scripting, or maybe Kubernetes scripting or Linux scripting is quite important. Okay, so you should not select JavaScript or maybe Python. If you're learning DevOps, having a good information on Linux, Terraform, and Kubernetes is good enough to land a job. So do not get into so stick with the scripting languages like Terraform, Kubernetes YAML files, Linux. Okay, if you are passionate about building applications, there are few students, they come to me and say, Naman, I want to build my own website, or I want to build my own application. In that case, you need to choose JavaScript. Okay, you need to choose JavaScript. This is seriously a very good decision if you choose JavaScript, because you will be surprised that Facebook application, Uber, PayPal, all these different applications are built with the help of JavaScript. So learning JavaScript can be really transforming for your career. After that, Python. So if someone wants to become Python developer, okay, there are positions available for Python developer. You guys can choose Python language as well. Okay, so identifying a language is quite important. And honestly, guys, these three are the best languages, or maybe if you choose DevOps scripting, or maybe you choose JavaScript programming or Python programming, these are the best. Do not waste time in other languages, because job opportunities are a bit less. But if you talk about DevOps, or if you talk about JavaScript, or if you talk about Python, right? So when I say DevOps, I'm considering DevOps as one language, because it comes under DevOps, there are multiple languages. So you have to learn DevOps as a whole, okay? And JavaScript and then Python. So you have to choose one of them. After that, once you identify it, you have to work on your fundamentals. Now, fundamentals are quite important. There are a lot of syntax which you have to learn. Okay, I know I'm getting a bit technical right now, but it's very important that you understand this. Every sentence you write in English, okay, it starts with alphabet, okay, and then it starts, and then we have grammar, okay, and then we start making sentences. This is how we learn English. Am I right, everyone? So we have to focus on these three things, and these are the true fundamentals of English. Just like that, if you want to learn Python, or if you want to learn JavaScript, or if you want to learn Terraform scripting, or if you want to learn Bash scripting or Linux scripting, you pick any language or computer language. There are a few things which you need to focus on. One is the, variables. Okay. Second, variables are quite important. After that, conditions. Okay. After that, loops. Okay. And there are multiple other things which you can learn in language, but these are three important things to build fundamentals of any language. Okay, I'm going to show you all these three things, so don't worry. I mean, if in case these are like, I know that all these things are actually a bit difficult to understand at this point of time, but you guys will understand variables, conditions, and loops. Give me like 5 minutes and I'm moving on that. So do you want to understand? Okay, so let me ask all of you. Do you want to understand what is variable, what is condition, what is loops? Do you want to understand the bit of fundamentals today? Everyone? Everyone. So I know that a lot of people already know language. I am still considering for everyone. Okay. So just like you learn English, there is a way you can learn a computer language. And trust me, everyone, if you are not a native English speaker, learning computer language is much easier than learning English language. Okay. I know many people are over here. They speak French, they speak Hindi, they speak different languages because they are from different native. So learning English language is a bit difficult than learning a computer language. Trust me, everyone. Okay, because computer language can be learned in 3 months. But if you are a French speaker, can you learn English in 3 months? I don't think that's possible, right? So that's why if you know these fundamentals, your journey can be sweet. Okay, so we have to understand these fundamentals. Okay, always remember that syntax matters. Okay, syntax is very important, everyone, in computer language. A lot of people say that, let's say if they are writing a computer code and there is a requirement of adding this symbol. So a lot of people think, why am I adding this symbol? Okay, why am I adding this particular symbol? When they are writing a computer language, you will find this symbol or maybe multiple other symbols, and we are using those symbols. But a lot of people get surprised, why do I need it? But this is a syntax which we have to follow. Computer language is a bit strict. Okay, and if you don't follow the syntax properly, computer will not understand. It is not the case with English. If I still speak a broken English, you will still be able to understand me. Okay, but if you are using a broken computer language, computer will not understand it. That is why syntax of a computer language is quite important, as compared to any other English, French language. So maintaining a syntax is very important. So sometimes you have to copy the exact code, and there is no harm to copy. If you are copying it, that's totally okay. Does that make sense, guys? So will we follow the syntax? Everyone, will we follow the syntax properly? Everyone, can you guys tell me yes or no? So what do you think? Okay, great. Yeah. So let's move forward with the real coding now. I think that's very important. Okay. Let's see something in action. Okay. So first, I'm going to tell you about the variable. Basically, understand variable. I'm going to use the Python language today in this webinar. I'm going to use Python language. Okay. And I'm going to talk about variable. So consider variable as a box. Okay. And in this box, you can store a data. Okay. I'm gonna tell you that how that really matters. I'm gonna tell you right now. So if I go back to what I'm gonna do is search on Google Python, okay, IDE online. Now over here, if I click on the first link and let me remove everything. Now over here, I'm going to write some Python code for these are the real instructions which my computer will understand and will display the result on this small window. So we will write Python code over here in this big window, and I'm going to see the output coming up over here. Okay. Now, so what is the first thing, everyone? Variable. Variable is nothing. You can take any name. I mean, you can say A, B, C, D, or you can say anything. Let's say if I say name, My name is the variable, and I can store over here Thinkcloudly. So what I'm doing, this name is my box, and I'm storing Thinkcloudly in the box called name. Okay. So over here, this is my variable is my box, and I'm putting Thinkcloudly. I'm putting the data in this box. Now, what is the benefit of this variable? The benefit of this variable is that I don't have to type Thinkcloudly again and again. I can use this Thinkcloudly, I can just use this variable multiple times. Let me show you how. Let's say if I want to print on the screen, like if I print this variable, like I want to see what is there inside this variable, I can just say print, and I can type this, and I can run it. If you see, my computer has understood that I am trying to print Thinkcloudly. So when I typed print, my computer, Python is trying to say to my computer that print something, whatever is there in this box, in this variable, print that value. So if I change, okay, let's say if I go ahead and, I want to print this 3 times. Okay. I'm going to run it, and you will see that computer will print this 3 times. Now the benefit is if I change it at one place, okay, it will change at all the places. I don't have to manually change it. So if I click now, it will show Thinkcloudly 1, Thinkcloudly 1, Thinkcloudly 1. So this is the variable. The importance of variable is that you can store some key values, okay, in the box, in the variable, and you can use that at multiple places. Okay, this is how programming, I mean, when you learn programming or scripting, you will understand it more. But what I'm trying to explain is that variables are quite important to store some data for a temporary purpose, which is changeable data. You can change it anytime whenever you wish to change it. Okay. Now, this is number 1. Everyone can try this. Okay, let me show you one more thing. If I say that number 1, this is my variable, okay, and I'm storing, let's say 100. And in number, I'm creating another variable, and I'm storing, let's say 150. Now, what I want to do is I want to do a sum, or I can type, let's say total. This is again another variable, and I can type number 1 plus number 2. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to, plus these 2 variables. I can do it. So I can just type number 2, and now I can print total. I can print total. So what's happening over here? First, I'm storing a data that is 100 in the variable number 1. Then I'm storing 150 in number 2. And then I'm doing a total over here. I can keep any name of this variable. It's just to, make sure that people understand. That's why I'm keeping a very understandable name, but you can keep any name over here. Okay. You can, let's imagine I want to keep, anything. I can keep anything, but I have to use the same name when I want to print it. So let's say if I do that, it will give me the value. So you see what's happening over here. So it's printing the value 250. What actually happened? When I write this small piece of code, computer understood that first I have to store 100 in this variable. I have to store 150 in this variable. And after that, when it reaches to third line, it is going to add number 1 and number 2, and then it is finally printing it. So that is why you see the message which you are actually printing it. I know it's getting a bit complex for people who are joining very first time or who are trying to understand very first time, but I'm trying to show you a significance of a variable. Variable is very helpful to store a data temporarily and use it. Let's say over here, we are using it for adding purpose. And then finally, we are printing it. Okay. So does that make sense, everyone, that how this variable can be helpful? Everyone, does this example help you or no? Only 2 people. What about others? Sylvester, everyone? Yes. So variables, I mean, this is the way it works. Some people say that why variable, why not something else? Guys, this is the syntax which we have to follow, which we really have to follow. We cannot do anything. I mean, if we don't want to use variable, we cannot do programming. This is how programming works, and some things are very strict, and we have to learn it the way they are. Okay, so you can also try this. Let's say if I want to change the variable name, I can change the variable name over here, but I have to use the same when I'm printing it. So you can see it will show me the same results. Now, if I change the value over here, I say 300. Now the result it should print. What is the result it should print, everyone? Can anyone tell me in the chat what is the result? Will I be able to print over here? 400. Yes. So if you see, the result is 400. Why? Because computer understood I have to add two values, which is in the container number 1 and container number 2. When I say container, it's the variable. Okay, everyone. So this is the significance of variable. Now let's understand. There was a second thing which I told you in the fundamental. That was the condition. Okay. See, sometimes what happens that there are some, like, let's say if you're traveling on a road, sometimes either you have to take left or you have to take right. Based on your destination, you have to take those decisions, right? Just like that, when you are writing a big computer program, you have to take certain decisions. Okay, so conditions are actually the real decisions. Okay, so if you have to take the real decisions, right, that is possible only with the help of condition. Let me show you how we are going to do that. Okay, so let me show you. Condition actually follows a syntax that is if and else. So let me show you guys. So I'm going to type if. I'm actually giving a condition. Okay, if total is greater than 200, then print hooray. Okay, else print very bad. Okay, so what I'm trying to do over here, I'm actually, so basically over here, I have two variables and I'm adding those variables and I'm checking if the total is above 200. If the total is 200, I will see the message hooray. It's above 200. I'll see the message hooray. And if I have like, less than 200, it will give me a message very bad. Sometimes this happens, right? When you enter wrong password, so it says wrong password. And when you enter such right password, it lets you log in. So just like that over here, condition works. So now over here, I'm writing this code. Now computer will understand that if total is greater than 200, it will print hooray. If the total is less than 200, then it will print very bad. So guys, what should be the output in this case? Will it print hooray or will it print very bad? What do you think, everyone? How many of you think that it's going to print hooray? So over here, 100 plus 300 is 400. And our total 400 is greater than 200, right? So it should print hooray, or it should print hooray. Why? Because our total is greater than 200. Let's see. See, it printed 200. But now let's say if I decrease the number 2 to 50, now what will be our total, everyone? It will be 150. So which one it should print? Will it print hooray or will it print very bad? So it will print very bad, right? So let's see. Do you see? Very bad. This is how your computer is making decisions. When we enter a wrong password and it displays the error message because your password did not match. If your password matches, it lets you log in, right? This is how computer is taking decision with the help of if and else condition. Okay, this is how computer is understanding the real instructions. Okay, Now, last thing I'm gonna show you guys is gonna be the loops. Okay, I'm gonna show you loops. Computer can do same thing multiple times. Okay, it can basically print a message 500 times if you want to. So it is possible. And how do you do it? You can do it with the for loop. This is again a computer syntax which you have to learn when you learn Python language. You will be able to understand it. So let's say if I remove everything over here. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me say I want to print a message. Okay, and I want to say hi everyone, and I want to print this hi everyone, let's say 10 times. Okay, so how can I do it? I have to type a syntax. This you will understand when you actually learn a language. I know it, so I can type it. So you can see over here. Let's say if I want to print it 10 times. See, I have written a small code now over here. You can see. So what I'm trying to do over here, it's a loop. It will go again and again multiple times. And it will go 10 times. So it will print the same message 10 times. Let's see how. Do you, okay, it has, okay, do you see that? It has printed the same message 10 times. So sometimes when there is a requirement of printing the same message multiple times, we use for loop. This is how we actually pass instructions in the form of language or coding to our computer. But this can be learned over the period of time, which takes its own, sweet time, which you have to spend. So that's all, guys. I hope everyone enjoyed the session. I know it's a bit technical, it's a bit difficult, but did you guys like the session? Did you guys find it interesting? And are you going to watch this session again to practice? Everyone. Okay, very nice. Thank you, guys. Over to you, Diksha.
Well, thank you so much, Naman. It was really inspiring, and I hope that our audience also seemed it very knowledgeable. And also, I believe that it now they won't be funny and complicated now. All right. So now let's move forward towards the brain battle, which is a quiz in today's webinar. So to join the quiz, first you need to scan the QR code, or we'll be providing you the link that would be given in the chat box. So the one who will be the winner, they'll get the course for $400. And so you can, everyone, please join the quiz through the link, or you can just join it by the QR code. So you'll be getting 5 questions in the quiz, and each question would have 30 seconds. And you won't be able to change your answer once it's marked. And the one who will get the higher score in the lesser time, that person would consider as a winner. So everyone, please join it. So we are waiting for everyone to join so that we could start with the quiz in just few minutes. All right, so now the quiz is live, and we're starting with the questions now. Okay, so the third question is live, and let's see who will be the winner, who will get the highest score in very less time. All right, everyone. So we have got the winner for today's brain battle. That is Darlington Maposa. Congratulations, Darlington. So everyone, please congratulate Darlington. And Darlington has done the quiz in just 47 seconds. Wow, that's incredible.
Congratulations, Darlington. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations, guys. Can we congratulate Darlington? I mean, 47 seconds is real good.
Everyone, please congratulate Darlington Maposa in the chat box. Congratulations, Darlington. All right, so let's move forward towards the Q&A session. And so I would like to tell you everyone that if you have any question or you still have any doubt or something that you were not able to understand, so you are just you can feel free to ask in the chat box. And if you have any feedback so that we could improve ourselves and come next time with some better improvement, so please let us know in the let us know in the chat box and provide us with some feedback, or if you have any doubts or any sort of confusion, so do let us know in the chat box. And still, if anyone is still interested in the webinar offer, so please let us know, as we have these courses. So please provide us with the information so that our team members could reach out to you, and then we can proceed further for that. And also, everyone, if you are looking for the recordings of the webinar, then you can have the access in our YouTube handle, which is named as Thinkcloudly, and you'll be getting the webinar recording of this session within 2 or 3 days. And if you have any question, then do let us know in the chat box.
So, Shakira, basically, the programming and the scripting cost is actually $399. If in case you are interested, you can drop your query. And if anyone who is interested to sign up in Python and Linux, so just drop your query over here. One of us will basically, reach out to you. Even we offer Java. If in case you are interested in Java, you can let us know your contact information, and we will contact you after this, webinar session to share more details about that. So just let us know your contact information, your email, or your phone number. We'll certainly circle back with you. Thank you so much, guys, for joining today. Please refer your friends. Let's make Thinkcloudly a better place. So please keep promoting us. Help us to reach to a lot of people who are real learners, and we really want to help with an honest mindset to help a lot of people. So please help us to promote many people in your circle, and you can earn $100 as a referral credit. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for watching. Switch from non-IT to IT today. Explore www.thinkcloudly.com.